It gives you an indicator, a self-diagnostic tool for knowing where you're at in health.
So go ahead.
What's different, I guess, I didn't have any symptoms. I was already quite healthy. I was already quite fit. I was doing many different practices of health, like juice fasting, lots of fasting, and different meditations and cultivations. I was already breathing through my nose, but I wasn't aware that we breathe through the mouth, though, when we speak to people. And I didn't even know that it was possible to breathe in through the nose while mid conversation until I stumbled upon Buteyko. It's even more of a testament to me of how powerful this practice is, being that I was already someone healthy, and yet I've experienced so many more benefits out of it. You would think it wouldn't be much of a difference if you're already healthy, but I've really experienced quite a bit. I came from deep breathing is good for you, kind of yoga path. There's been a lot of practices that all say, breathe deep and slow. And I got many benefits doing it that way, probably because of the consciousness, like just being more conscious and aware of things bring about certain things. But since I started Buteyko, I've been able to relax my body to depths that I never could before. The areas that had tension before, that I was finally able to relax and soften, and I just couldn't get to those levels before. The relaxation that I have both in mind and body, I just feel a lot more zen, like things can just don't affect you as much. So more like detached, but in like a good sense. My focus, my concentration has really increased in everything, whether it be reading. I can focus better on what I'm reading and comprehend it better. To my actual practices, meditation is easier. I do internal martial art called Wing Chun, and that one is all about relaxation. And that's what I think helped me a lot with the Buteyko. That's why I kind of was able to relax into the pauses more, because I had a lot of practice with relaxation. But what's wonderful about this practice is that it can teach anybody how to relax, and very quickly and under the most stress, really, because I mean, what is more stressful than breath deprivation? When we think of human urges, whether it be food or sex or whatever other urges that we have as human beings, there's no urge greater than the urge to breathe. Like nothing else matters. Like, your favorite cake, the most tasty cake. And if you can't breathe, you do not even care about that cake. All you care about is that breath. This practice starts to build this really strong discipline within yourself and builds like warrior spirit. It really trains that warrior spirit. So then, if you can get yourself to do this practice, you'll be able to get yourself to do other things that you know you should, but you don't feel like it. And you can just train that willpower. And so it's helped me with that a lot. Health wise, my physical performance has gotten a lot better. I'm able to do more reps in my calisthenics workout, and it feels much easier. Even getting to those points where it gets really hard, it's like I'm still calm and relaxed, and I'm able to push it more. My digestion, it's insane with the Buteyko how quickly food gets processed, like cleared out. My muscle definition, I was following along with what you guys said with the practice to not work out for some time and just do the practice. But I was noticing that my body was like toning up even without any workout at all. And that was really impressive to me. It kind of fascinates you how you can just lose weight and tone up just from doing this breathing. And even my abs started coming out, without doing any ab workouts, without doing any running or jogging. So that was really interesting. I'm not saying that other people, are going to get six pack abs or anything. We're all in different spaces, but for sure, people will experience their body kind of transforming And that's been very interesting witnessing that. It's almost like I'm getting the same muscle definition that I recall having in high school. And so
That's
I'm
right.
still young, and I'm still young, and I know I probably look even younger than what I am to most people. I am 33 now, but like that it's like that definition I used to have back then. And I would say even more so because I'm weighing even less than I was then, but I look fuller. My control pauses keep getting higher and higher. Social situations, I've noticed there were times in the past where sometimes just regular social tension, you meet somebody new. I would notice I used to get like the shoulders used to get a little tense. And now with the Buteyko, it doesn't even really happen. But if I ever notice it happening, all I really do is that I do a mini breath hold. I hold my breath there while I'm in the conversation, not for long because you don't want to be, but like a short one, and it just instantly just melts everything, relaxes everything. It's such a wonderful tool to calm yourself at any time. Oh, that's another thing I love. So I've done breathing exercises in the past, but they're noisy. You couldn't just do them anywhere, like if the people would look at you weird. I love how this is quiet and you could do it anytime, anywhere, any place while you're doing stuff. So even if you're pressed on time, I'm a busy person. First, you have to dedicate to doing the practices the way you guys teach it. But after a while, you can do a pause while you're cleaning. You can do a pause while you're studying, which I do often. You can do a pause even, while driving or while doing whatever. So I love that part. I know that it's so counterintuitive being told everywhere you go, it's breathe deep, take a deep breath. And now with this, it's saying, no, breathe less, breathe shallow. That's why I think, too, in this practice, it's important to notice the differences, the benefits that you've had, and maybe even write them down, because it is normal after some time for you to doubt it. Is this right? Should I be doing this? And then you forget all the progress you made. You forget, oh, wait, but my headaches went away and I'm digesting food better. My muscle tone, like I'm stronger. All these things you kind of forget. And so it's good to write that down. For people like me that weren't helped in that field, they kind of took matters to their own hands. And I started healing myself with different alternative methods that were supposedly shunned down by Western medicine. When you go down that path, you realize that a lot of the things we were told were the opposite. The food we were told we were supposed to eat is not the food we're supposed to be eating. It's like almost everything is opposite. It's the opposite. It's the reverse. And so that's why it wasn't hard for me to take a look at this when I was told it was the opposite of what I've been told all my life about breathing. I'm like, wait, could breathing be the opposite? Could the same thing be applied to breathing, even though we've been told the opposite? If eating less is the healthier way to go about being healthy, then perhaps breathing less could also have the same effect. That really made a lot of sense to me. So I would encourage whoever is new to it and maybe has doubts to look into it and see what part actually resonates with them, what part makes sense. It might be the science of what CO2 does in the body. It might be something else, like babies breathe in this way, right? And people dying, people in ill health breathe deep. Whatever makes sense to you, just like really zone in on that. Use that to keep you motivated. It is a challenging practice, but it's like anything in life, right? That's worth doing. It takes effort. It takes hard work, but it always feels good after. It's like working out. Working out isn't really fun to do, but you feel great when you leave the gym and you did it. And Buteyko is like a workout. It's not like fun. It's not like I can't wait to do my Buteyko, but I'm never like super looking forward to it like that. But I know like afterward, I'm gonna feel amazing, and I get to carry that feeling into the rest of my day. So in other words, it's an investment in my day to make the rest of my day better. I know that the rest of my day will just be so much better from doing this small investment. There's so many benefits that I experienced. I can't even remember them all.
Well, I think that's great. Thank you.
Thank you guys. You guys are so supportive. Like every time someone has a question or some kind of troubleshooting, you guys are really quick to just jump on the phone with them and help them out. And I think that's huge for something like this because of all the cleansing reactions people can have and feeling discouraged. I did go through a small cleansing reaction myself. For 2 days, I felt at the base of my throat, I felt almost like a light pressure, like almost like I was being like choked a little bit, you know, like just feeling like I couldn't really fully breathe. And that lasted for 2 days. And then after that, once it went away, it's like all my pauses like shot up, and it was like a breeze after that. But during that time, there were many times where I was not wanting to do it at all. You know, I did not want to do the practice, but luckily I forced myself. I was doing 4. That was when we had just started out. So I was doing 4 practices. Now I'm doing it twice, sometimes 3 times. So I do it without fail. I do it every day when I wake up and then when I go to sleep, just because I know before going to sleep, I just know I'm going to get better sleep. Like investing 20 to 30 minutes in the practice is going to make me feel like I got an extra 2 hours of sleep. And so I've been doing that without fail. And I feel like that's for life. For life, I will always do it, waking up before going to sleep. And if I could squeeze a 3rd practice in during the day because of all of the shenanigans we go through, that would be perfect. But this is crazy because it's only been like a month and a half, I think. I did this it was Thanksgiving week, I remember.
Yeah.
So, wow, it's just been a month and a half and I'm already amazed. I started getting the benefits very early on. The first week I noticed a lot of difference because I'm so sensitive with my body, just being kind of an athlete and meditator, I guess, for a long time. I'm just amazed at how many benefits I've felt in just a month and a half. I'm really curious to see where it's going to take me like a year from now, you know, and I haven't even done the intermediate and advanced training yet. So it's just going to get better and better. I'm excited for it. I'm grateful to have came across it. Funny enough, I had heard about this like 6 or 7 years ago. It was actually on the Wim Hof method group on Facebook. Somebody wrote something about Buteyko, and it was interesting because they said, is there a way that we could do Wim Hof and Buteyko together, something like that? And I was like, what the hell is the Buteyko? It sounded interesting to me. And I started Googling it, and I started watching, like, I think the TED Talks from, I forget his name, but I watched.
Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick. Yeah. So I listened to almost, I think, all the TED Talks he spoke about. I found it very interesting. And then that was it. For some reason, it was like I wasn't ready for it at the time, I guess. You know, it was kind of like I was intrigued, dove into it a little bit, and never went further. And then after that, I've actually done the introduction webinar a couple times. And then finally, I was like, I have to do this. Another thing I love about it is that it's mathematical. It's measurable. It literally gives you an indicator, a self-diagnostic tool for knowing where you're at in health. And so it's tuned me into the breath even more so than I ever was before. I was already quite conscious of my breath throughout the day, but nothing like this. Like now, you know right away what things are affecting you, what things are affecting your breath. And so I love that, you know where your control pause is, and no matter what's going on with you, you're sick, you're feeling whatever, you know what you have to do. I just got to get my control pause higher. And that's it. So it simplifies everything. And it's not like vague or subjective. Like, I don't know where I'm at with this. Am I healing? Am I not? Like, no, you see exactly where you're at and you can track it. And the tracking thing makes it more fun too. You know, writing all these down and seeing how you're progressing really motivates you to keep going further with it. It's been a great experience for me thus far, and I want to keep learning more about it. I want to keep learning more about the CO2, what it does in the body. I've tried reading some of the website stuff, and it's just, some of it gets quite deep, like we're a scientist level. So I'm gonna have to just put my thinking cap on, do a couple breath holds, and get my intelligence up and dive into it, because I really do want to learn more about the scientific aspect of it, what it's doing in the body. I could feel it. I know it feels good, and I know it's doing good, but it's also nice to be able to, I guess, to explain it to people better in that way. Yeah.
Yeah, or just know for yourself, if you read through the science, go through it again and again, and then keep practicing, at some point light bulbs go on. You just get, oh wow, yes, okay, so that means that, and you get this awakening sense. You wake up to the effect of it. I mean, really, an awful lot of it's unknown. I mean, there's 1 million chemical reactions in the liver per second.
Wow.
So
That's
to
crazy.
actually say that you understand biochemistry, what we're doing is getting the breathing back to the optimal norm, what it should be.
Right.
Because that is measurable, and that has been measured by physiologists, 3 to 4 liters per minute, and that comports to a certain pressure in the lungs. And that's what we're aiming to get back to. We're just getting back to what is optimal, as discovered by the early physiologists in the late 1800s, early 1900s. So we've got blood pressure, temperature, pulse, which everybody knows, but not much is discussed around the breathing, but it's in the medical textbooks. So if you go to Gray's Anatomy, you'll see it there. Optimal norm for breathing, 6 to 8 liters per minute now, equivalent to that with a control pause of 30. Used to be 3 to 4 liters per minute. So it's all there. It's just that its practical application isn't discussed.
Right. That's crazy. It's crazy that it's been known since the 1800s, and yet it's so unknown today and it's not being applied.
Yeah, well, L.J. Henderson, who was a well-known physiologist in America, did lots of experiments in the 20s on CO2 and the benefits of CO2, along with other doctors. It's been documented, the references there, the research papers are there, but it hasn't been invested in because it is not the same model as the medical model today, because we work with breathing, which is 24/7. When somebody does have a problem, we try to be there as quickly as possible to solve it there and then, because it's affecting them right now. So we need to get in as soon as possible to help. And when you help somebody when they're in difficulty, that's when they learn the most. Whereas these days, you go to see somebody, you have to wait in a queue to see them, and you see them for 10 minutes, and then you're given a formula. That's the medical profession today. A procedure, some sort of machine, or some sort of medical formula, which is one size fits all. So you could be taking the same dose if you're 6'4" as you would be if you were 5'4". It's a different model altogether. Anything else that comes to your mind before we come to an end?
I've heard that, I don't know how true it is, but that in China in the past, you used to actually only pay your doctor when you were healthy. And then as soon as you got unhealthy, you would stop paying your doctor. So then it would give the doctor an incentive to hurry up and get you healthy again. And that model makes more sense. What you guys are doing is the true doctors. That's what, or at least what a doctor should be doing, is really assisting and guiding and processes that you do every day that affect your life every single moment. And breathing is such, without breathing we can't live. Like it's literally the most important thing when you think about it. You can go without food for months, they say, and water for weeks and or days, and I don't know what they say nowadays, but and then breathing just after, minutes. So it's so important, and it's rarely ever spoken of. And nowadays, when it is, it's not to breathe less, right? It's, if you're lucky to even hear about breathing, it's to breathe more. For someone who's kind of like on the fence about it or just has doubts, a lot of times in life, you have to do something that is completely outside your comfort zone, something that you wouldn't normally do to get results that you've never gotten before. So I would say that. And then listening to the testimonials, I love I'm a testimonial guy. And I watched a bunch of the testimonials for Buteyko. And that one with the one with the two mothers, that one really got me. That was so powerful. And just hearing a child, who kind of was growing up very feeble and pale and very weak. And then he does the Buteyko, and then he goes from the weakest kid and slowest kid in his soccer team to like the best one, in just several weeks. That's very undeniable to me. And then the other mother spoke about her daughter getting better grades and doing much better in school and all these things. If something improves your physical performance that significantly, improves your mental and cognitive performances that significantly, what do you think it would do for your health? I know with you guys, you have a good team, you have good support. And that's another important thing, is to have a support system there that you can lean on whenever you start stumbling. And so you have full trust. And you guys said get in contact as soon as anything is off or whatever, because you guys have seen it. You guys know what to do. While we might be feeling doubtful, you guys are very certain. You guys know.
We do say when we don't know.
Yeah, and then that's important too, right? Exactly. Like you're honest and transparent.
Well, thank you, Daniel.
Thank you. Breathing is the most important thing